What's going on YouTube? Today I'm gonna be talking about everything you need to start producing in 2025. Let's go ahead and hop straight into it. So the first thing you're gonna need a computer. Me personally, I'm a MacBook user, so of course I'm gonna recommend a MacBook, but MacBook, PC, if you wanna get like the PC people build up, that's cool. If you wanna just get like a regular Dell computer or Windows computer, that's cool too. But it's just about your budget. If like you don't got a crazy budget, then you want to get a cheaper computer, but also you don't want to get something that's only gonna last you a year, because a year after producing, you're gonna want to start getting bigger plugins and other things, which we'll get more into that. So that's what I'm gonna say. I got a MacBook. Mine was like 3K, but my first MacBook I started producing on, it was like 800. But it's other MacBooks, so yeah, MacBook, PC. Second thing you're gonna need to start producing, software. That's gonna be how you make beats, whatever you use. So personally, I use FL Studios, but you got FL Studios, Logic Pro, Ableton, MPC. I don't even know if it's anymore. It probably is some more, but those are big three: Logic Pro, Ableton, and FL. Like I said, I use FL Studios personally. What I can recommend is what I know, which is FL. I've used I also use MPC, but I can just say this: I feel like FL is the best when it comes to trap. Logic is the best, I think, when it comes to like recording live sounds. Like if you're a guitar player, want to make beats that way, I go Logic. Ableton, I don't know. I ain't gonna lie, I don't really like using Ableton. If somebody in the comments watching this and they like, nah, man, I'm like, you an Ableton user, let me know what y'all like about Ableton versus the other ones. But you gonna need a software. So, like I said, FL, it's different prices for FL. Well, I think it's different prices. It might be different prices for other ones. I know FL is different versions you can get. For Logic, I'm not sure about the pricing, but I'll put it on the screen. The second thing, or the third thing you're gonna need is the interface. What the interface is, basically, it's gonna connect your computer to your monitors, to your headphones, to, if you have a microphone, your microphone. It connects everything. That's all it is. Audio interface. It connects and transfers, like I said, like whatever's going into the mic or whatever's coming out your computer or your MIDI keyboard, it connects everything. For that, what I would recommend is a Focusrite. The red Focusrite, everybody knows this. It's cheap, works, it's sturdy, it gets the job done. It might not necessarily be like the best for like recording once you start getting more like developed, but Focusrite, it'll never do you wrong. I personally didn't start out with a Focusrite. I had an Audient, and the reason I got an Audient was because when I started, I was also recording, and I wanted something that had 2 headphone jacks, and I just want to be different. It was like a $150 difference, so I wasn't tripping. It was cool. I ended up upgrading to like something better, but Focusrite gonna do it for you. Audient, if y'all want to get a little bit more expensive, you got a little bit more money to work with, I'll say an Audient. So the fourth thing is monitors. Monitors is gonna be your studio monitors, your speakers basically. This kind of, it can be tricky with monitors because sometimes it depends on your space. If you record in your bedroom that's next to your mother room, you can't get something with crazy bass. Like it's not gonna work out. Your mother gonna be mad at you. People's gonna be, turn it down, turn the bass down, turn the bass down. So I would recommend probably like some JBL, like 305s. So I think they might even have like 301s or 303s. I'm not sure, but I personally got the JBL 308s. I think you might be able to see them on the screen, but they like, they're bigger speakers. I probably shouldn't have got them because like the bass real is loud. Like when I first got to college, I had my neighbor call the police on me for a noise complaint because of the bass. She got like wild for that, but we ain't getting into all that. But yeah. Or I can recommend some Yamaha HS5s. Those are definitely a good pair of monitors. I actually had a pair of them, It was a gift, but I already had my JBL, so I ended up giving them to a friend. My man that record music for the low. They do them justice. Good bass, good like high end, whatever. However, they good pair of monitors. They solid. So the fifth thing, I think we on 5. If we not, the next thing, headphones. This is kind of optional, but at the same time, you just always gotta have a pair of headphones for you. Honestly, you can make beats and like, if you got a pair of Beats, if you got a pair of Apple AirPod Maxes, I don't know what they call them. It's gonna be on the screen. If you got a pair of those can work. But I would recommend Audio Technicas. That's like the classic mic. Even for people recording vocals, they got like different ones too. Some are better for like recording vocals, some are better for like beats, some are better for low end, some are better for high end vocal. It just depends, but I recommend Audio Technicas. Also, I know the Shure brand, they make the microphones. They got good headphones as well, some solid ones. I think their price is a little steep, but if you got a little bit more and they work with, maybe check out the Shures. I can stand by the Audio Technicas though. They got me right. So next thing is the MIDI keyboard or keyboard, but I'm gonna just go straight MIDI keyboard because that's like the most versatile one. I'm not really gonna explain MIDI keyboard. I feel like if you're watching this, you know what a MIDI keyboard is or what MIDI is. That's a little too much to get into. But as far as a MIDI keyboard, I would recommend the Akai MPK Mini. That's what I started out with. I had that before I had anything else. Like back in high school, I didn't know what I was doing with it, so I barely used it at first. But once I got like FL and all this other stuff I named, that was my bread and butter. That's how I played everything, did everything. You got pads on it, you got the keys on it, you got knobs, which I've never used, but you lock in, you could probably use them. That's what I would recommend. Also, if you're a FL user, FL has its own Novation FL Key MIDI keyboards, which is also cool because like it's mapped out for FL Studios. So it's just more things you can do, and it's just a better workflow. So that's also pretty cool. And I'm sure Logic and Ableton, I know Ableton, they definitely have the pads. I'm not sure if they have a keyboard for Ableton. As far as Logic, they might have something, I don't really know. I'm FL, so I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm gonna recommend that. But yeah, the Akai MPK Mini, that's my #1 go-to. And the last thing on this list to get you started, plugins. This is kind of optional for real. Because when you starting out, you're gonna have like the stock plugins, but if you just want something just to get you started, depending on what type of beats you make, I make trap mostly, little R&B. But like if you making something surrounding that, I could personally recommend, if you got some money to work with, Nexus. The price it's a little expensive, but it got a whole lot of sounds. That was my very first like big purchase plugin. That was cool. Another one, if you ain't working with that much, I would go Expand. That has like a bunch of sounds. I still use Expand to this day. They got a bunch of crazy sounds in there, whole bunch of stuff, and I think the price is pretty cool too. Last thing, I'm a keyboard player, like self-taught. I'm real big on keys and sounds. If that's like your bread and butter, you got Keyscape. That's all you ever gonna need when it comes to pianos. Outside of Keyscape, if you like, yeah, these are too basic, you might as well just go get a regular, like the actual pianos, like a Jupiter, one of those. Like Keyscape got it all for real. That's probably like the most expensive one I just recommended though. So that's if you really haven't like that. But my #1 go-to I would recommend Expand or Nexus. Like I said, Nexus if you have money, Expand if you just getting started just like I was. And honestly, that's it for real. I don't think you really, that's all you need. Yeah, you don't really need too much. I know all that stuff is gonna add up, but you can buy little by little, save up. I know half of the stuff right now got different coupons, codes, 4th of July coming up. Get deals then, Sweetwater. They always get me right with different deals and stuff, and they always have people like on a call anytime you order from them to like help you. So like, yeah, I probably say buy little by little. If you could pay monthly on to do that, and you can start producing as soon as you get everything. So appreciate y'all for watching, and I'll see y'all Thursday when we're back for another one. Like and subscribe.